Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, we are starting Genesis 26 today. We're going to be doing 4 episodes on Genesis 26. Today it's entitled Living on the Border, okay? And it's Genesis 26 verses 1 through 6. I'm going to read that, and we're going to talk about living on the border, okay? It says this, "Now there was a famine in the land, besides the previous famine in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar." Okay, so remember, so you understand the story here. Abraham went twice because there was a famine. He went to Egypt, okay, and then he also went to where Abimelech was. And both times when he was at each of those places, he told a half truth. Or a half lie, you might say, that this is my sister. Okay, this was kind of his half sister, but it wasn't truly a sister; it was his wife. Okay, so anyway, they're bringing this up because this is a different famine than the one Abraham was involved with. Okay, and he goes to Abimelech. Naturally, the Abimelech is a title of the king here. It's not the same Abimelech that was with Abraham. Is probably a son or grandson, probably a son. Okay, so they go to the Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. Verse 2, "The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, 'Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live.'" Okay, very clear. God had said, don't go to Egypt. Okay, and we've talked about this before. Egypt represents the world. Don't go into the world. Okay, and Abraham did. He left the promised land and went to Egypt. Like, God's not taking care of me in the promised land, so I got to go back to the world. And we talked about that already. So, but here, Isaac is clearly told, don't go to Egypt. All right. Verse 3, "Stay in this land for a while, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and all your descendants I will give all the lands and confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all the lands. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required of him, keeping my commands, my decrees, and my instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar." Okay? So it looks like when you read through this, you're like, okay, he didn't go down to Egypt. He obeyed the Lord. Okay? But what's helpful is if you have in your Bible, you can turn to the back. A lot of times have it, or you can, if you have like a Bible atlas, it's helpful. But so I turn to the back of the Bible, and I have a Bible atlas in my Bible here. Okay, so I have it. Here is this is the region. Well, I don't know if you can see this really well. This is the region here where Isaac was told to live. Okay, this here is Egypt. Okay, and it says he went and stayed in Gerar. Okay, God told him not to go to Egypt, so don't go here, but to stay up here, in the promised land that I'm going to give you. So where does Jacob go? He goes right on the border. He goes here to Gerar. That's the border town. Okay, it's crazy. Like, God is, you read through this and it's clear. God has says, don't go to Egypt. I'm going to take care of you right here in the promised land. And instead, Isaac, he doesn't quite have enough faith yet. And he's like, okay, I believe you. And I'm going to obey you. I'm not going to go to Egypt, but I'm going to go on the border town. Okay. It's a sad thing when we have to, we're not going to follow God completely. We're going to stay on the border, okay? And a lot of times we do the same thing. We're not committed totally to God, and we want to stay on the border. We want one foot in with the world, and then one foot, in with God. So we'll go to church on Sunday, and we'll act like, oh, we're the great Christians, And then during the week, we're living like a hellion. We've got one foot in the world and one foot, in godly things. And so God's pretty clear about that when you get to Revelation. And he's talking about a church, and he goes, you're lukewarm. I'd rather you be hot or cold. But lukewarm, I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. I hate that. Okay, and so that's what Isaac was here. He was lukewarm. He was like going to stay on the border town, and you're going to see him staying on the border town like that has implications. Okay, you're going to, as we go through the chapter here, that has implications because he chose to stay in the border town. And Abraham, he was like, oh, he just jumped right into the world and went to Egypt and stuff. Well, that had serious implications, and so let's see how this plays out here. But again, my warning to you: don't be staying on the border and living in border town. Either commit to God or commit to the world. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the book of Genesis. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.